Take a minute. If the sound is there, though, it's probably live.
Yep. Yeah, I see that you tagged me.
All right. Hey, guys, it's Ted Bogert with the TED Show. A little bit of difficulty here, technological difficulty, but I'm super excited to have Joel Perez on the show with World KM Taekwondo. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Awesome, awesome. Having a great day so far.
Good, good. We tried to go live on the show. It's giving me a funny message. So you just have to bear with me while I share this to my TED Show page, which is where I normally go. And so I'm excited because you're actually in the gym. You're in your place. You're in your
Yes, I
studio.
am.
You've got equipment in the background, stuff hey, what's up, Ron? Stuff I've probably never seen before. But we're going to learn all about you and about Taekwondo. So let's dig in. So tell us a little bit about you. Give us your background, and then maybe tell us how long you've been involved in Taekwondo and how you came to love the sport. Is it a sport?
Yeah, it's pretty much a sport. It's an Olympic sport, and it's just a traditional martial arts. But as far as my background goes, I started my Taekwondo training and martial arts training when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
I'm going to be 40 here in May 20th, so my birthday's coming up. I'm
Happy
excited about that.
birthday.
Um, I started up a martial arts school at the tender age of 21 years old. Um, I've been here and in an academy since I was 21. I'm very faithful and loyal to all of my students, and I just genuinely love what I do on a daily basis.
I love it. So why a business so young? What made you go, all right, this is what I
You
want
know
to do
what?
with my
Ever
life?
since I could remember, I always felt that I was set for a leadership role. And I was in the military. I did 6 years in the U.S. Army.
Thank you for your
Got
service.
numerous awards, Army Achievement Medals. I got an Army Commendation Medal just for doing a good job and always trying my best. And I think that's what put my foot through the door to go ahead and just open up a business at 21.
It's amazing. So you had already you opened up the business. When did you serve our country?
I served when I was uh, I signed when I was 17. I went
Wow.
into active duty when I was 18. I did 3 years active until I was about 21, 22, and then I did another 3 years in the National Guard.
Thank you again. It's amazing. All right. So, but owning your business, that's all new. One of the things that vets talk about when they come out of the service is that it's difficult sometimes to translate or to make the transition from military life to civilian life. So you found what we recommend when we're discussing or consulting with vets a lot is finding a way to open your own business. But even 20, even you, 21's pretty young. What were some of the challenges you had?
Well, at 21 years old, you kind of don't know what you're doing. I ran into a bunch of mistakes, but I learned from my mistakes, and I bettered myself through the mistakes that I made at a young age. Like I said earlier, I'm turning 40 now. I've been a successful business owner for a good while now. Like I said, I learned from my mistakes, and I've corrected each and every one of my mistakes. And I'm still growing and learning to this point.
So tell us a little bit about the history of Taekwondo because I don't know it. I know it is a martial art, right? But there's so many different martial arts out there that I don't know what the difference is, but each one has its own unique approach.
Well, I'm going to be talking to you about Taekwondo. Taekwondo is broken down into three sections: Tae, which means hand; Kwan, which means foot; and Do, which is art. So it's hand, foot, art. And basically, there's very traditional forms or katas that we do here in Taekwondo that can be, I guess you could say, it's a practical application of what you're practicing to basically do in a real life situation. So, for example, a physical punch can be thrown in a pattern so many different ways. But the more you practice that pattern, the faster, the more technique, the more power, the more strength you get while throwing these practical positions or patterns.
much of it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, much of it is there's a lot of mental involved. This isn't just a physical art. I mean, martial arts, there's the word. There's mental, there's concentration, focus. Talk about that side of it.
Well, I'm gonna share with you one of my students that I've had here for about going on 3.5 years. When he first came to me, both of his parents were at ends at all daycares that they brought their son to. He was getting into physical altercations. He was getting kicked out left and right from different daycare centers. This is why I strongly believe in Taekwondo and any type of martial arts after school or summer camp or daycare program, because we're willing to take on any child with any situation. He had acute autism, and he was in special classes in elementary school for about 2 years with me. After the second year that he was with me here at the academy, he went into mainstream classes, which means he's now in normal classes. And the way he got there was, remember, he had acute autism, so any little slight touch would trigger, because he had, emotional. It was really hard for him to communicate. It was really hard for anyone to even put their hands on him without him freaking out. I took it step by step, day by day with him until I earned his trust, until I figured out what makes him tick. And basically now he's a second-degree black belt with me at the academy. He leads the classes, so he's actually leading adults in classes. He teaches kids his age. He leads stretching. He has no problems with doing public speeches now. He leads my testings where I have about 50 to 100 people here at one time, and he shows off his moves. He expresses himself, and he has no issues now going forward in his education and at home with his parents.
Do you think that, I mean, that's amazing. I've heard stories about that. When I think of martial arts, I think of this level of commitment, respect, concentration, focus. It's not just the physical. Like, I think a lot of people, I would imagine people go into it for different reasons, but I know a lot of children go in, or parents put children in, because there is so much discipline. Meaning you have to be disciplined in order to learn and to go through the steps. Talk about the discipline part of that. Is the majority of the lesson, for lack of a better word, or the session, is it mostly on mental acuity, or is all of it physical, or is it a good combination of both?
There's a percentage of physicalness in the class, but there is a higher percentage of discipline. For example, whenever anyone walks into the academy doors, it's just customary. You have to bow. When you bow, that represents that you're leaving all of your negative thoughts, everything that happened in the day outside of the academy. When you come in and you bow, you take off your shoes, you put them in a shoe rack, and once you put your shoes in the shoe rack, you come into the academy. You have to bow one more time to show respect to the American flag right behind me and the Korean flag as well right behind me. And once they come onto the mat, it's a positive atmosphere. Everybody here has the same goal and the same mindset, which is black belt mentality. When people walk in and they start doing the martial arts class, you have to bow to the instructor to show respect, and the instructor bows directly back, showing his respect to the student. Everything is with answers as yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You have to respond quickly. As far as the discipline aspect of the martial arts, we have daily checklists for kids. For example, what I'm trying to say is, I give a sheet to their parents, and on the sheet it says, does your child make his bed? Does your child listen and respect your parents? Does your child do their homework on a daily basis? Does your child listen to and respect their teachers while they're in school? And they go by checking it on a daily basis. At the ending of the month, if they have most of the check marks checked off for the month, I award them with stars on their uniforms. And once they get 6 stars, they get a medal. And once they get 12 stars, they get a trophy. And the kids eat it up. They love that, because what kid doesn't want a medal? What kid doesn't want a trophy? So basically at a very early age, we're teaching them positive winning habits. We're teaching them how to respect one another, how to respect their parents, how to respect their teachers, how to respond to people that are older than them by saying yes sir, no sir, always having a constant smile on their face. Because by having a smile on your face, 99% of the time, if you smile at somebody, they're gonna smile back.
Absolutely.
If you walk around with your head up, held up high, and you're smiling at people, 99% of the time they're gonna smile back. You know, this head gesture that everybody has every once in a while when they're saying hi, they kind of like, these are things that was developed through martial arts. So it's that much. It's a way of life that they're learning here.
So I have to ask, obviously you take kids in, but do you take beginner adults? Like, is there, if you have if you're not in shape, you just feel like this is the right thing for you, and you come in, will you take anybody no matter what shape they're in?
Of course, of course. We take it at their level. So for example, if you could only do one push-up, then you know what? We're gonna do one push-up until you surpass that. So we take it step by step, and we take it at your level. Some people walk in here super athletic, and those are the ones that I kill. Some people walk in here with very, very little athleticism. I could relate to that because I was one of those when I first started. I sucked at baseball, I sucked at basketball, I sucked at football, I sucked at every sport there was until I walked into a martial arts school. I turned around and I looked at my mom and I said, "Mom, I'm home. This is me." And so I can relate to people that are not athletic. It just takes time. It just takes time, and it just takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to maintain the physical aspect of it. But once you get past the first couple of weeks and the first soreness of your body, then you're gonna be in progress after that. You're gonna be on cloud nine from there on in.
So what are you doing with this change, with us all being quarantined? What are you doing for your business, with your business, to continue to stay engaged with your students, continue to operate your business? What are you doing?
I do online Zoom classes. I have 2 classes. I have one for kids ages 4 to 7, from 5:30 to about 6:10, and then I have an all age, all belts advanced class from 6:30 to about 7:10. And on Fridays, and those classes are Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, I have a black belt advanced class that I only tailor to the advanced red belts and higher, so that way they can get their training in too. And that's 40 minutes long. It's from 6 to 6:40.
Monday. Love it. So you adapted. You now offer online. Did you offer online before?
No, actually, it was once this whole stay-at-home order got put into effect. I jumped on the opportunity to find a way to engage with my students because, like I said, I'm very loyal to my students. I'm very loyal to my community. I want to make sure that I'm there for them, and let's get past this together.
Love it. All right, I have to ask a question, and then I want to ask you to do a couple of basics for us. What do the colors of the belts have significance? Do they have meaning?
Actually, yes. Every belt that I have has a meaning. But most martial arts schools start with a white belt, and most martial arts schools have about close to 8 to 12 belts that they go. Now, colors may vary in different academies. My main colors is white, yellow, green, blue, brown, red, and then black.
Awesome.
In between the belts, there's advanced belts, which has a black stripe in the middle of the color, but that just means that they're an advanced green belt or an advanced red belt.
Very cool. And they take it very seriously, making it to the next level. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I know you celebrate it too. All right, I have to ask, what are you doing before we get into something physical, meaning you get into something physical? What are you doing yourself personally, not business related, to stay positive? How are you staying positive during the change,
Well, you know, I'm considered a gym, so I have to close. I cannot have anybody coming into my academy. But I'm just staying positive. I started up a YouTube channel because a lot of my members don't have Facebook. A lot of my members don't have social media that they rely on. So I started a YouTube channel. It's called World KM Taekwondo of Longwood. And on that YouTube channel, you could see me doing all of our curriculum, from basic punches to basic kicks to basic blocks to even more advanced stuff where we're going over black belt forms, black belt patterns. But I also use the Remind app that a lot of the elementary schools use to communicate with my students. I let them know, hey, this week we're going over kicking combinations. This week we're going over self-defense. This week we're going over forms. This week we're going over weapons. So that way they're engaged. They know what's happening. Even though we're on lockdown, they know what's happening. They know what curriculum we're going over for that week, and they know what to expect.
Love it. All right. So what is, if somebody comes in, like I came in, you have lots of love, by the way. There's all sorts of, I think they referred to you as Master Perez.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So lots of love, which we'll both respond to later. We promise.
Awesome.
So when somebody comes in, is there a particular thing that they initially do? It's not a move. That's my word. You can tell me what the something that they actually practice.
I give everyone that walks in one free trial lesson to try it out. Again, what I do here is not for everyone, but you won't know unless you come in and try it. Most of the people that do walk in, I have a 95% retention rate. So when you walk in, you feel welcome right away. You get to take a free class. Everyone is welcoming you. Everyone is shaking your hand. Everyone is trying to help you so you could feel comfortable. Being that we're in the situation that we're in right now, as far as lockdown goes, what I've offered through Facebook and through Instagram is 4 classes free online. I usually send out my meeting ID number. I think my meeting ID number is 966. Give me 1 second. Look it up. My meeting ID number is. Hold on 1 second.
Let me ask you while you're looking for that, and we can always post it later when you share the show. What is a move when they come in? A beginning move. Move is my word. That's not the right move. It's not exercise either. It's something that you teach them to do. One of the first things you teach them to do.
One of the first things that I teach a lot of the members when they walk in is how to stretch. A lot of people don't know how to properly stretch. And if you do not stretch properly, you can injure yourself quick. So I teach them how to properly stretch first. I teach them how to warm up their bodies before they start working out, so it's less injury on you.
So the stretching really is important. And then how about what do you call it when you're teaching them something? What is it that they're learning to do? I'm saying move or action or
curriculum.
Yes, curriculum. So is there a specific Taekwondo punch, a specific
I see what you mean.
So I'm terrible because I don't know what to call it. Something that is basic that is universal.
Yep. There's kicks. There's universal kicks in all martial arts. These kicks are pretty much the same. Some places call it a little different. I'm going to be letting you know what I call it on my end. What I call it on my end, for example.
Yeah, please show us.
Examples of what I do here is as follows. Okay, so this right here is called a front kick.
A front kick.
Yeah, in Korean, it's called an up chugging. Up chugging. Okay, so you're gonna bring your knee up, shoot your leg out, bring it in, set it back down. Okay, so that's called a front snap kick. Up chugging. Okay,
I've seen that before.
All right, then another kick that Taekwondo teaches and really, really hardcore emphasizes is called a roundhouse kick. Roundhouse kick is thrown to the side of the body or to the side of the face. Or even if you're looking at kickboxing, they throw it to their legs as well. Okay, so roundhouse kick, I call this a table stance. You're gonna take your kicking leg and you're bringing it up. You're turning your leg over and then shooting your leg straight out in front of you, bringing it in, setting it down and back. Okay, this takes a lot of balance, especially to hold it out like that. It takes a lot of balance, but I've been training, like I said, since I was 7, and to me, it's pretty easy.
I would have fallen over.
Would be hard.
I would have definitely fallen right over. But that's why people come in and you work with them where they're at. I think that's so critical, because I think it could be any kind of thing that you're doing for the first time. It can be intimidating, but what I gather, especially from the love that you're getting on the show, and which you'll see later, but I think that people feel comfortable immediately. You really do create that environment there, and that's everything. Because if I was going to come in, I don't get intimidated very easily, but I would certainly feel like a fish out of water normally. But I know, because I'm really not an exercise dude, but I know that you are welcoming and you've got that personality, and obviously you have a love for what you're doing and a love for your students. So
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That comes across immediately. All right. So do you want to just tag how they can sign up for the Zoom classes when you share the show?
Yeah, I'm still trying to fix. Let me see.
So it's World
KM
Taekwondo.
World KM Taekwondo of Longwood.
Of Longwood.
Let me see if I can grab. Oh, here goes. Got another phone right here that has my.
And so the best way for them to reach out to you, is it Facebook? Is it on your website? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, I have a Facebook. It's called World KM Taekwondo of Longwood. I have Instagram, which is the same thing, World KM Taekwondo of Longwood. I have a website, is www.worldkm.com. And on there you'll see a picture of me. You'll see the curriculum that I do. You'll see what we have to offer, any special offers, anything like that is all on the website.
Love it. All right, so Joel Perez, World KM.
Yep.
Taekwondo.
And then my personal meeting idea for Zoom is 996-633-9177. And then I have 2 class times. It's Monday through Thursday. 5:30 p.m. is for kids 4 to 7. And then from 6:30 p.m. to about 7:10 is my all belts, all age advanced classes. And that's the same personal ID. If anyone would like to join the class, you're more than welcome to. You get the first 2 classes free. After that, we charge $25 a week for as many classes as you want to take. If you want to take all 4 of them on a weekly basis at those class times, you can. If you wanted to take 1 or 2, you can as well.
I love it. You're a joy, man. Thank you so much for sharing and coming on the show.
No problem.
It was good I'm tired now because I watched you do 2 moves. Kidding. No, but I love it. I love your energy. I think it's so cool. And I love that you've adapted to this quarantine lockdown thing that we're involved in. And I know that there's a lot of parents that are looking for something to do and maybe did not know that they could take a martial arts class and start with you online. So that's awesome. All right, we'll share all of Joel's contact information again when we share the show. Thank you so much for being on, Joel. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks. I appreciate
you. All right, guys. Have a good one. Reach out to Joel Perez.
Thank you, guys.
A great guy. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Take it easy.
You too.